Well, that's a bummer. Watch out, birds. So last week we talked about using these meat chickens as little tiny bush hogs. This is 1 week, just the amount of damage that they've done to all that broom sedge. See, we got way too much of that stuff. And broom sedge loves poor soil conditions. These chickens do a great job making a mulch layer and then just packing the fertilizer on top of it. I absolutely love that about these birds. Now, somebody asked me on that video, what is your least favorite part of raising meat chickens? You love that part, what's your least favorite part? Well, we had part of that again this week. We lost one bird out of here. Now, these birds are 1 week away from their ultimate destination in the freezer. Less than 1 week. Thank you. My son is chiming in because he sure knows, all right. We are really close to these birds being in their final destination here. And at this point, see, Cornish cross birds are not very hardy to begin with. They're really, like when you get them as chicks, it's really tough to keep them alive. I mean, everything's got to be perfect. And at this point, things start going wrong with their health. I'm not exactly sure what happened with that bird, and I'm not going to perform a necropsy on a chicken. But we did lose one, and just dealing with the loss and the pressure that comes along with that as you're raising these birds, making sure that you're doing your best to take care of them, and obviously you've made an investment in the animal so that it'll feed your family. And so when you lose one, especially when you get to one this close to processing time, it stinks. There's nothing we can do about it. We just obviously do our best to give them the best shelter, the best feed, clean water all the time that we can give for them, and just we want to take care of these animals, and in return they're going to take care of us. Now, each week here on the channel we have been weighing 3 of these birds and getting a week to week average on their growth so we can see how they're growing. Now normally I do these on the weekends, but we are on Tuesday at this point, so these birds are a couple days older and a little bit heavier than they would be otherwise, but that's not going to affect things too awful much. Now we just get to do the fun part of wrangling all these birds. Hold that just like that. This one right here. It is an absolute miracle that these birds still fit in this bag. Oh yeah. That's what I want to see right there. That's 5.91 pounds on that bird. I like it with a week to go. Love it. 6.67. Oh yeah. This is awesome. These birds are growing great. Okay, which one's the next one? All right, that third one there, 5.93. 5.93 pounds. I am pretty happy with that. I like it. I like it a lot. And with only 1 week left until we process these birds, that's too much water if I'm just going to move these guys again in the morning. We're going to go over the things that we're doing to prepare for Butcher Day. And looking ahead at the forecast, there's a chance of rain too, so this is maybe some special kind of considerations that we're going to be doing. Maybe the pin. Maybe the pin.
It was 13 eggs.
Nice. Okay.
Not your existing guy moves it. Straight. In my work. Can't catch up, man. Oh yeah.
Well, in true Homestead fashion, this did not go at all like I expected it to go. It is a couple of days later. I came out here. We're looking at the forecast, and there's a decent chance of rain. I don't want to chance it, and so we're going to be doing our processing here in the shop. And so I was going to come in here, do some cleaning, and kind of just prepare this space and talk about what we're doing to get ready for Saturday. Today, like from this morning until this afternoon, we had my worst, least favorite thing struck again, and this time it struck 10 times. Today, we lost 10 birds, and that just floors me. Best we can tell, and it's all seems to be a guess, it's not a predator problem. It doesn't appear to be a sickness like coccidia or something. We kind of think that we had an issue with the waterer. The new waterers that we built that have the little nipples on the bottom. For some reason, they've been working fine, and then all of a sudden, the chickens didn't seem to get any water out of them today. Now, in the one tractor, their waterer was almost completely empty. They're doing fine. Everything in there is perfect. But in the other one, after what, about 10 hours or so, the water was still basically at the exact same level I left it at this morning, and there were 10 birds in there that didn't make it, and that stinks. I mean, that stinks. It really stinks. That's something that we were planning on using to provide for our family. Even though we're going to eat them, those animals are still in our care, and what we want to do here in our homestead is be good stewards of everything that the Lord has blessed us with, and to lose 10 animals just like that because of something that, I mean, nothing had changed. It's not like we weren't checking on them. It's not like we weren't, really nothing was different from the day before and the day before that and the day before that until today. But for some reason, that's just the deal. So, that stinks. And it is. It's my least favorite part of this, of raising meat chickens. My least favorite part of having animals is having to deal with the loss of them. And it's a fact of life. It's unavoidable. I mean, death is an unavoidable part of life, and it stinks. We put a lot into these animals. There's time, there's money, the expectation and the hope that we were looking forward to having, and then of course the food that we're going to provide, we're going to be putting in the freezer, and then 10 of them are gone, and it's a bummer. It makes you feel like well, I mean, it just hurts. It just hurts, and I don't want to say it makes you feel like, well, you can't do this, and you're not qualified to even do this. It's an accident, and I mean, even then, it's an accident or just something that happens. I don't know. I don't really feel like I did anything wrong, other than just the fact that all of a sudden something happened. So, it's just a huge bummer. It's a huge bummer, and so now, instead of processing 37 chickens, we're going to be processing 27, which is a big difference. And we talked about having our full cost breakdown. When all of a sudden the cost per bird just went up because we put all the money into them, the same ones now, and now we're putting less into the freezer. So, it's just part of it. If this is your first time raising meat chickens, or if it's your second or your third, if you've done it a few times, you know that things happen. If you've ever had animals, you know that things happen. But if something happens like that, just understand you're not alone, that it happens. It happens to me. It happens to other people too. Whether they show you on their channel or not, I don't know. If you're watching other YouTube homesteady type channels, if they're not showing it, it's happening to them, and they're just painting a picture. But we want to keep it real here, and that's a real moment. That stinks, but we're going to get through it, and it's going to be okay. Now, as far as getting ready to finish up this area, we're using the grill tomorrow night to cook supper, and so I'm going to leave that there. But before Saturday, we'll have it moved out of the way. We'll have the rest of the stuff kind of cleaned up and ready to go. We're going to be doing the actual butchering, the dispatching, there you go, of the birds. That's going to be done outside. The scalding is going to be done either right outside or just in the door. Overhead door will be up just right there. The plucking machine will be done outside, and then this little area here will have a fan going to keep the ladies cool. They're going to be the ones who are doing primarily, in their small hands, doing the things, eviscerating the birds. And so that'll be done indoors, and we'll have a table. We'll have something set up. I have a really cool thing that I can't show you right now because I don't have it ready. I forgot about doing it. We have these tables, and I will show you next week because it is really cool. I saw this online. 1.25 inch PVC, cutting them at like a 12 or a 15-inch length, and we can use them to raise the height of our plastic tables that we're going to be using. Total game changer. We were planning on buying something like that, and then saw the hack online where you can just use a piece of PVC pipe. So I will show you that next week because that's going to make a big difference. Because you get used to working at something that's like countertop height, and then all of a sudden you have to work bending over to like a 30-inch height. Countertops are 36 inches. A table is 30. That's a big difference. So either you're standing and hunching over, or you're sitting, having that up at a more reasonable height. Total game changer. So I am super excited about that, and I will show you that next week, which is, I guess, is a good excuse to come back. We have all of our propane topped off that we're going to be using for our scalding setup. The plucker is ready to go. We have our freezer bags, our shrink wrap freezer bags that we're going to use for the birds. Those are ready to go. We're going to have some baking soda to put in the scalding pot because that seems to have a pretty decent effect on helping those feathers come off cleaner. What else we have going on? We have all of our knives sharpened. We have the help lined up that's going to be coming over, and we have a plan to feed them as well. Always feed your help. If you have people coming over who are helping you do stuff, make sure you feed them. So we got some stuff planned for that, which is always a good thing, right? Everybody likes working on a full stomach. And I think that's about what we have to do to get ready. Over the next 24 to 36 hours, this little area is going to be changed, and we're going to be set up to butcher 27 chickens, which should take, a few hours. We'll be able, between 4 or 5 of us, 4 of us. That'll go pretty quickly, and we're going to have some meat in the freezer, and it's all going to be worth it. Even when things don't work out like you want them to, like you hope they will, like you expect them to, you got to get through it. And there's just no other way around it. That's true in homesteading. It's true in life in general. Things are going to happen that you can't stand, and that things that break your heart and things that upset you, and there's just nothing you can do about it, nothing anybody else can do about it. All you can do is just keep your nose down, keep your nose on the grindstone, and just keep at it. So that's our story. That's what we're doing. We have just a couple days, and we're going to be butchering chickens. So thank you so much for being here. Full cost breakdown for everything that we've done, whether or not it holds true, for you, if you do a better job keeping yours alive. We had some stuff, but we're still going to have all that. We'll cover that next week, and we are going to see you then. My name's Reagan. Thank you so much for watching the GWP Homestead. We'll see y'all soon.